We want to welcome everyone today to our 8th presentation of LIFE, Lay Institute for Evangelism, trying to encourage and train on medical missionaries. Shall you pray with me as we start today's presentation? Loving Father in heaven, we thank Thee again for this opportunity to come. We're grateful to You, Lord, for the information that You've provided for us, and we just ask that we may learn, that we may take heed, that You give us the strength and the courage, the vitality, Father, to make changes in our lives that we may have life and have life more abundantly. Guide and direct my thoughts and the presentation. In Jesus' name, amen. So like I said, this is part 8. We're going to talk a little bit in reference to something that most Americans generally, or I should say a lot of Americans generally deal with. As you get older, a lot of times our lifestyle hasn't been the greatest or what have you, and this is arthritis. And specifically more, we're going to look at rheumatoid arthritis. So with rheumatoid arthritis, as many you know, it affects about 3 million, and those are generally that are affected are anywhere from 25 to 50 years of age. Usually there's a feeling of stiffness when you first wake up, and generally swelling in and around certain fingers or wrists and joints. Sometimes conditions worsens or stay the same. Like I said, there's about 3 million roughly, and every year it keeps growing slowly, but that are affected with rheumatoid arthritis. One way that's what I call non-invasive way of being able to find out or detect if you do have rheumatoid arthritis is through infrared. You can get infrared or imaging done to see, and actually the swelling in the hands actually comes up in the infrared thermography. Specifically, it is an out-of-pocket expense, and so arthritis, also cancers as well, specifically those that do thermography do it for women with breast cancer and all that, and this is a way for it to be non-invasive. There's no radiation, what have you. A radiologist, the company normally that I've seen is called Metatherm, and they're an actual national and international company, and so it's a good way for the technician to do a thermography. They send it to a radiologist. Radiologist reads it, sends it back to the thermographer. Then it's presented to the guest. So, but one of the things that we normally suggest our guests go through is to detect where the high, because arthritis and cancer has a high, as you see the red there, radiation, and the thermography actually does pick that up. So in arthritis, like gout, generally affects 1.5 million, and mostly is men that is generally are affected with gout, and is rapid with extreme pain and swelling one or more of the joints. Usually affects the big toe or smaller toe or finger joint. There's about 1.4 million that experience this, and like I mentioned, over 90% that actually deal with this are men as well. And so you can see that, like in arthritis, the ankylosing spondylitis is, you can see the picture in 1947. This scientist actually was doing a test, and he took a picture of this same man, that all 4 of them, 1947, and you can start seeing the ankylosing spondylitis starting to take effect in 1957, 10 years later. 1967, it became worse until 1972, 5 years later, the man was totally crippled over. So this can be remedied and reversed. And so this type of arthritis affects 2.5 million, and generally affects those between the ages of 20 to 40 is when they start feeling this and start being decrippled. There's stiffness, inflammation in the spine, stiffness along with posture changes as well, as you can see here. And so there are some natural arthritis therapies. In most cases of osteoarthritis, rheumatoid, gout, and ankylosing spondylitis is the result of a complex of nutritional deficiencies. And so the treatment or the therapies include a diet of raw food and fresh juices. You've got to increase your raws and your juicing in your daily lifestyle. Drink 1 to 2 glasses daily of any combination of like raw juices of beets and carrots, celery, parsley, or alfalfa, and you can put them all together in combination. Eating meat is especially bad and must stop because it actually feeds the arthritis, whichever one you may have and all that. So the simplest thing is just to eliminate that and take it away from your daily menu. Number 3, sulfurs, like foods that containing sulfur can help repair the bone, your cartilage, your connective tissue, such as foods like your asparagus and garlic and onions are very needful, and they should be on your diet on a regular basis. And when I say regular, meaning at least 2 to 3 days out of the week, 2 to 3 meals at minimum, you should be having these sulfur type of foods. Also, number 4, eat green leafy vegetables like whole grains, like oatmeal, brown rice. These supply your vitamin K in your diet, and therefore can stop and reverse this arthritic effect. Daily green juices mixed with carrots, celery, red beets, and if you purchase vegetable broths, are also very helpful and very healing. 6, you can use different herbs. Cayenne is very helpful because it interferes with the pain perceptions. When placed on the extremities or drunk, it triggers the body to release endorphin, which reduces the pain as well. So you can get the cayenne, that's a cream. So if you have arthritic problems in your hands, in your feet, your knees, your elbows, what have you, you can use it as a cream. You can also drink it internally. I would not use extremely hot, maybe 40,000 BTUs, something, and you got to be careful of it because it can be a stomach irritant as well. So you got to be respectful of it, but you need to use it in your daily routine. Turmeric is another great simple remedy that you can use, and it's a little bit safer than cayenne, meaning it doesn't have such a effect on your stomach. Another one that we actually have that we use is called the Ultimate Stone Dissolve and Arthritis Tea. It also, the combination this Ultimate Stone has for parasites and for gout as well. The action of sodium ions tends to liquefy calcium, kidney stones if you have them, gallstones, arthritis, and gout as well. And so you can drink this, make this in a tea. It does have a little stevia in it to sweeten it up, because without the stevia, the herbs would be very challenging to try to drink. But with just enough little stevia to sweeten up the tea, then it's a very tasteful drink to make. As we mentioned earlier, a minute ago, about the cayenne deep heat salve, there's a salve that you can use. Excellent for arthritis, for neuropathy, for sore muscles, stiff necks, headaches, stiff joints, and just general body pain. But one of the things that you need to be cautious about is when you're using this, that if you put it on at night, like for instance your feet, if somebody has diabetic neuropathy or non-diabetic neuropathy, it can stain your sheets, so you want to at least wear some socks or some long socks when going to bed, or even during the day. Just know that it's better for your socks to be stained than your sheets, and it's better for you to be healthy than not. You can also use an infrared light, infrared therapy on a daily basis. Depending, again, let's look at the feet. If you use the infrared, you can buy the infrared bulbs. I would look at places like Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware. There is a website, it's called 1000bulbs.com, that when you're looking for an infrared bulb, you want something that's a low wattage, about 50 watts. I've seen a lot of times they have 150 or 250 watt. Well, if you do that, then you want to purchase a lamp that will be able to sustain that higher wattage. But when you're using it on your feet or your hands or what have you for neuropathy, for arthritis, then depending on the wattage, for instance, a 50 watt, you want the distance from the bulb to your skin to be about 6 inches or more. For 150, you start getting it further away to 250 watt, you want at least 12 to 18 inches away from your skin. The time that you're using as well is going to be very dependent upon the wattage. 50 watts, you can be under it for an hour. 150, you can start reducing it down to maybe 35, 40 minutes. 250 down to about 15 to 20 minutes. But again, you've got to find out what type of wattage of a bulb that you can get. But it's very important, especially if you're working on yourself with these problems, or you're looking to be a medical missionary. It's always good to have them, because you're going to always have people that you need to work with, and it's a great way of being able to witness to them as well. So the far infrared heat lamp, purchase an infrared, as I mentioned, 50 to 150 heat lamp. Place on a bendable lampstand and do 30 minutes therapies 1 to 3 times per day if you're able to. Beneficial for those suffering with cancer, tumors, low blood circulation, arthritis, and other health challenges as well. Place it within 10 to 12 inches from the body. Be careful if using above the neck, and do not point it toward the eyes as well. You can purchase these at most hardware stores or online for about $20. They're going to fluctuate at Ace Hardware, Lowe's, Home Depot, or as I mentioned, 1000bulbs.com. What was interesting in overseas, there was somebody from the Cayman Islands that was wanting, that had some problems, and I mentioned to them about this infrared bulb. They were actually able to find it there in the Cayman Islands. Here in the States, it's a little bit more challenging to find, but don't give up, be persistent. They are out there, and I encourage you to make an investment. Another natural remedy for arthritis is this product called Utah Sea Minerals. You can buy this on Amazon if your local health food store does not have it. This Utah Sea Minerals, it's a body balanced, all natural liquid mineral salt with a full spectrum ionic trace minerals. A naturally concentrated seawater product from the Utah's inland sea, the Great Salt Lake. And what this Utah Sea Mineral does, it actually has many trace minerals, anywhere from 92 to about 100 trace minerals that the body actually needs, because our body, we generally, the nutrients and everything else, especially the trace minerals, are depleted in the foods that we're eating. And so if we take it in little amount of like a teaspoon at a time, or even more depending on the severity of your arthritis and all that, then it can reverse these health problems. And we've seen it, especially aggressive arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis over time. Persistency, consistency, and time is what has to be considered. And so over a period of time, we've seen many health improvements where these problems can be reversed through God's help and naturally as well. So, just want to leave this with you and with an encouragement. Think back over the past and recall to mind all the ways God has helped you through the years. Praise Him for what He has done and continues to do for you. Stay close to Him and trust the future to Him. He will not fail you. Even though you may not understand all the workings of providence, He will guide and help you as you trust in Him. So we've got to trust in Him, to be dependent upon Him, that He knows the best way, the right way to work with us. In the world of medicine, if I can put you on a pill, I can see you every 3 months for the rest of your life. That's how we make money in medicine. If I put you on a plant-based diet and you get better, I probably won't see you again. And this is by James Benny, medical doctor. And it is. The key is to encourage everyone we can, is to work toward or put ourselves on a plant-based diet. So therefore you reduce the amount of time that you will be seeing the doctor in your life as well. Let's look at the benefits of castor oil. The castor oil in conjunction with arthritis is very helpful because, or someone that has cancers and all that, this is a natural purgative. Relieving constipation is one of the better known uses of castor oil. Maybe you, your mother, your grandmother use this to take internally. If you do take it internally, I caution you got to be very careful. We normally suggest just using this externally. A dose of 50 grams of castor oil mixed into warm milk gets the waste moving through the colon and out of the body as well. It actually kind of acts like a peristalsis, a stimulant. The oil is rich in fatty acids and, as such, is not easily absorbed in the intestines and moves through quickly, bringing other waste with it. Too much, and this is where I said, too much castor oil can also be harmful. However, so it should be consumed in moderation. Anyone whose constipation does not resolve within a week should see a doctor as well. So you got to be careful, and this is why I have to caution you. Number 2, it boosts the immune system. The immune system defends the body against infection and disease. Weak immune systems elevate the risk of contracting serious illnesses and conditions. Diet, exercise, and genetic factors all play a role in the strength of one's immune system. Taking castor oil can help improve blood flow, encouraging the creation of the lymphocyte white blood cells that fight bacteria, and enhancing the health of the thymus gland, which produces your T cells for the immune system. The thymus gland is where your T cells are what I call your kamikaze cells. So if there's any type of disease in your body, these T cells actually go to those cells that are cancers or what have you and actually kill those, but they also die as well in the process. So that's why we've got to make sure that we're increasing the thymus, the bone marrow, your liver, making sure that these places are clean and working effectively, because these are the places where your T cells are produced. Number 3, it also improves your sleep. Insomnia is something new, but the stressful and blue screen heavy lives most of us lead today seem to have increased the prevalence of sleeping troubles. So when we're on the screen, when we're watching TV and things of that nature, this is where also we have problems sleeping. Many people turn to sleeping pills, but natural options may be better, and they are better. They are also safer, especially over long periods of time. The consumption or topical application of castor oil may help with relaxation, which can improve your sleep as well. Number 4, fights fungal infection. The undecylenic acid in castor oil helps block the development of fungal infections, and some health practitioners believe it can cure yeast infections and athlete's foot as well. The oil also gets glowing reports for its ability to fend off ringworm. Nearly 1 in 5 people develop this skin condition at least once in their lifetime, and castor oil could be a way to stop the infection without incurring the potential side effects of prescription drugs like for antifungals and antibiotics as well. Number 5, and you can see that I'm listing quite a few of these, and this is why it's important for you to make an investment to learn how to use it, research. I'm trying to give you what I can about castor oil, because we use it prolifically in our lifestyle program. Number 5, it eases burns. We all know we should wear sunscreen when we're outdoors during the day, but we often forget, don't we? Castor oil could alleviate the effects of painful sunburns. Now, I'm not suggesting go out and get sunburned just to prove this, but in case you do, or your loved one, or what have you, at least you'll have it. It contains rhinolenic acid that can guard blistered skin against infection. It also reduces the inflammation caused by excess sun exposure as well. So this is good just to rub it on to your skin straight on. Now, one of the things, again, the castor oil, as I mentioned about the cayenne salve, is the castor oil will also stain whatever sheets. So if you do get sunburned, then you want to put a sheet down on your bed to lay on, and then another sheet to cover you that you don't mind using for therapy, and that they may be stained and all that. But it would be worth it to have that, and not worry about damaging your sheets and all that. Number 6, it also aids in childbirth. Though premature birth dangers are well known, complications can develop when pregnancies go well past the due date as well. Some women claim taking castor oil can stimulate the bowels and start contractions, which could prevent the need for more invasive or painful induction techniques. However, this method should not be undertaken without the knowledge and guidance of an obstetrician. So you got to be careful. I'm just sharing with you, but you've got to take these consideration and investigate and learn for yourself. Number 7, as mentioned earlier, this also treats arthritis. Some natural health practitioners claim castor oil could alleviate joint pain caused by arthritis. Once again, this is something, that we've got to take in consideration. We've got to be cognizant and investigate. The anti-inflammatory properties of the oil supply this benefit, and animal and test tube studies support the theory that rhinolenic acid can reduce pain and swelling as well, much as it does for like sunburns, as we just discussed in number 6, caused by rheumatoid arthritis cells. Both massaging the joints with castor oil and drinking a few teaspoons in warm water can have great beneficial effects. And so again, go to your local health food store, go online to Amazon and order a couple of bottles of these to have on hand, learn more about this. Now, the company that we prefer is from the company Now, and that's why I show you these. Now, whenever I show you pictures, these are ones that we use, these are the ones that we prefer, these are the ones that we believe are probably the best products out there to use. Some of the supplements are going to be more expensive, but again, you have to understand value equals price. So sometimes the cost is there, and there's a reason why these are expensive, because especially when you have what we're going to focus on here for this session and probably the next session is looking at herbs and what are the most important herbs for you to have in your home. Learn how to use those, how to store them as well, because one of the things we're finding is these herbs are harder and harder to find. So when you're getting these herbs, now you can get them organically grown, buy them that way, or what's called wild crafted. Well, wild crafted actually takes a person that has gone into the woods or whatever and has found them in its natural environment, meaning they have naturally grown. Well, medicinally, they're actually more powerful, more potent than the organic, because the organic is controlled growth and everything else. Usually it's in a greenhouse. If for them to be organic, there's no pesticides and things of that nature, but they're not as strong as the wild crafted. So that's why you may be paying a little bit more. Or for Laetrile, for instance, Laetrile is inside the apricot, inside the seed, the kernel, but then that inside the kernel, the seed there is not all Laetrile, so they have to extract just the actual Laetrile from the kernel, the seed of the apricot. So this takes time. That's why these are more expensive. But in the long run, they're much more beneficial. So let's look at this in reference to what type of herbs that we recommend you having. So we're going to talk a little bit about amber jars for storage. The reason I suggest amber jars is the reason is for like fluorescent lights or the sunlight. If it comes into your home, these amber jars will protect the lighting when you have your herbs stored in there, because the ultraviolet light will not age your herbs, make them non-useful as well, instead of just regular glass jars or what have you. But the amber jars are much safer for longer use. Store your herbs in clean, airtight containers, away from heat, away from light, and handle them thoughtfully. Amber jars with airtight lids are ideal, is what we suggest. Store them in a cupboard, on the shelf, in a dry and dark place. Even if you have a basement or a cellar, somewhere where it stays cool, where it stays dark most of the time, that is the best place to keep them. A place where also rodents and all that are not going to have access to. And also put labeling on it. You need to make sure that you invest a little time, print it, unless if you want to write it. I just like printing things so that way it's more legible, and dating them for later use. And so when you put on there, cayenne, then put the date when you fill that jar up as to when it was first put on there, because you want to know, because herbs that are stored this way, ideally they will actually last for years. Legally, the herb companies have to put a date of expiration, because whatever man, women decided that, well, we need an expiration date and all this stuff. The theory is after that expiration, then it's not good. But actually, herbs can be in for years and years. They will lose its medicinal value from like 100%, fresh crop of it, but it still has its medicinal value even though after years of storage and all that. If needed, cover them with a curtain when not in use. So if you happen to store them like this. Amber jars are designed to protect, preserve food and herbs by blocking out 99% of food-damaging ultraviolet light. So this is why, again, they're not going to tell you it's going to block 100% of it, at least 99% of it. And in the long run, if you're going to make an investment in what we're going to suggest, because I'm going to look at the first 12 most important herbs. We may not be able to cover all those today. And then we'll go from there as to the ones that we suggest that you should be investing in. Now, all the stuff that I've been in the last 7 sessions sharing with you is not to overwhelm you or to financially cripple you, but it is something that you need to prioritize and say, okay, I have these health issues. These are the things that I need to deal with first. So that's why, physician, heal thyself. You need to work on this. As you're working and as you're seeing by prayer, patience, and time, then God's going to work in you. He's going to be healing you through these herbs, through these foods, to making lifestyle changes. Then the Lord's going to be helping you to see that the importance of the health message. And then as you see that, how your life is changing and improving, and your diabetes or cancers or whatever, arthritis is reversing, then you're going to be a witness to other people, a testimony to other people, especially your family, your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones. They're going to see, because they've heard you talk about, having these problems. And then as you're working on it, and as they're seeing the improvements, then you can be a blessing to other people, that you can start sharing, you can start telling them what God has done, what you've learned, and what you're experiencing. And then it's going to be a convincing witness to them. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's 2 types of herbs that I would only suggest you getting: wild-crafted or organic. And so we're going to spend a little time in looking at this to see what is the difference between the two. Wild-crafted versus organic, there's a big debate within naturopaths and health practitioners as well. The difference is organic plants are not exposed to environmental stressors in the way that wild-crafted plants are, because they're grown in a controlled environment. That's what the difference between the two. Due to this protection, organic plants do not fully develop nutrients and phytonutrients, reducing their nutritional value. Now, I say that, let you know that's why they're not medicinally as powerful. Not that you cannot use organic, but just to let you know. There has been a long-standing debate as to which is better, wild-crafted or certified organic. That has been the debate. Natural herbs, before there was certified organic, natural herbs gathered free from herbicides, pesticides, detergents, and other harmful chemicals were referred to as wild-crafted. Wild-crafted herbs and plants are not farmed or sprayed with any kind of pesticides. They are plants that are wild, native, and organic by their own nature, and which retain the positive attributes of plants grown in their normal habitat. That's the definition or the understanding or explanation of what is a wild-crafted plant. Certified organic herbs and plants for essential oil, or I should have put, or essential oils, are grown on a farm and produced according to standards which translate into no harmful pesticides, fertilizers, or GMO, genetically modified organism plants to enhance their growth. Before they even hit the shelves, certified organic products must pass, listen, strict criteria to earn the right to be labeled as such. And that's why if you're looking, or people have looked at growing, having their own organic farms, there is normally, I think my understanding is a 5-year process before they can be certified organic farm. It's very stringent. It is taxing, and you have to have patience, and it does cost money to get to that point. These products may be healthy, yes, but because ingredients are grown under ideal conditions and not necessary in their natural habitat, meaning certified organic, they may not retain all the attributes of their wild-crafted counterpart. So that's why, just to let you know, between the two difference, between the wild-crafted or the organic, just an explanation. Now, I'm not saying stay away from the certified organic. They're still good. You just need to know up front. So here is a list of the 12 important herbs, and we're going to go through these what time we have to help you explain what the benefits are. So the 12 most important herbs that we recommend every home to have is charcoal. Now, as I will explain, charcoal is by definition not an herb, but it is considered an herb because of what it's able to do. Cayenne pepper, garlic, golden seal, peppermint, slippery elm, lobelia, aloe vera, cascara sagrada, corn silk, hops, and also witch hazel are the 12 that we suggest. Now, for some of you, you may, can adjust, and that's fine, but in general, this is what we have seen. This is what we've mostly used, I guess I should say, and high success or high demand in our lifestyle program. And so we just want to let you know, and hopefully you can write these down, and then as we're going through this, that way you can learn the benefits and the usage of them. So the first one is the charcoal. You can see, and especially powdered charcoal. This is not an herb, yet it is invaluable in a number of ways. As I mentioned, charcoal is not a herb, but is invaluable. Charcoal is pure carbon and will adsorb, okay? There's a difference between adsorb and absorb. 29 of the 30 most dangerous poisons. Absorb means it takes it in and just kind of, absorbs it. Absorbs it, it means it grabs it, whatever the harmful substance that's in your body, it grabs it and actually pulls it. So it does not absorb it, it absorbs it. 29 of the 30 most dangerous poisons. You can drink it, diluted in water or any other type of juice, preferably. The reason we do put it, we say water, because most people are going to have access to water. But if you can get a juice, apple juice, orange juice, what have, grape juice, that is a little bit better way to be able to drink it, because you can, in water, you can definitely taste the charcoal. Whereas apple juice and grape juice and all that, you're not going to taste so much of the charcoal. You can drink it in diluted water, use it as a poultice on wounds, skin infections, etc. And so here is a charcoal poultice, and just to share with you how to make it. Spread powdered charcoal over a square of paper towel. Now you can use cotton sheets or cut up cotton sheets, whatever for the therapy, but most people have access to paper towels. Now, as I put on here, determined by the size of the area to be treated. So you can use larger or smaller amount of paper towels. Cover with another paper towel, fold edges, then you moisten the poultice with water. Place poultice on skin, cover with a piece of plastic that extends over all edges. So if you're working on the arm from a burn or a cut or what have you, then you're just going to cover it with the poultice. then you wrap it up with plastic, because otherwise it can seep out, it can stain, will stain your skin when you have charcoal directly on your skin, or if you have it with paper towel and all that, it still would absorb the properties out without staining your skin or your clothing. Cover with a piece of plastic that extends over all edges. Cover with another square of paper towel or cotton towel to catch leaks that may develop. Use a binder or an ace bandage to hold in place. So you wrap it so that way it stays in place, pinning it securely. Then you want to leave it on there for 6 to 10 hours for it to have time to do its work. It is not recommended to use this poultice. Anytime you make a poultice, you need to throw it away. So after 6 to 10 hours or 12 hours, or if you go to bed with the poultice on there, then the next morning you open it up and then you throw it away and you start the process over as necessary. Now, years ago, probably about 10, 12 years ago, we were introduced, Andrews University, the students there had actually developed this, what was called the C patch or the charcoal patch. If I remember, there's 5 patches in there with tape gauze, so that way all you had to do is just cut what you needed, put it over the infected area, put the tape or the patch over that, and that way it was a tape patch that would keep it in place, or if you needed some gauze or to get some other tape from the pharmacy or what have you. But it was a very neat way to be able to have that. Now, they recommended when you buy this, because these were around $12, $15 per pack, or for package of it, that you're to refrigerate it for longevity as well. So this was a great idea. Now there's several different varieties out there now, but again, it's well worth investing in having at least one pack, if not several, because you never know, and you will have need of these charcoal patches as well. All right, let's look at number 2, cayenne pepper. Dr. Christopher, a well-known herbologist, he lived in Utah. He was a Mormon, but I think he was a very good man as far as, because he did try to help people, he cared for people. He was said that if he only had 2 herbs, he would select charcoal and cayenne that we've already covered. So the 2 that he would, if that's all he had a choice of, he said cayenne, or capsicum as it also is known, is powerful in its ability to attract blood to a body part. Since it is the blood which brings healing, this can be an important quality. So cayenne actually helps bring the blood to the area of the infection, and with the blood, you're going to have the T cells, which is your fighting, your kamikazes, your white blood cells, your red blood cells, as well, for rebuilding, restoring, and healing. So internally, cayenne is useful for osteosclerosis, arthritis, I'm sorry about that, asthma, bleeding, high or low blood pressure, bronchitis, chills, cold, convulsions, coughs, aids in digestion, relieves migraines, prevent blood clots, promotes detoxification, relieves pain, support weight loss, boosts metabolism, infections, jaundice, ulcers, and varicose veins. So this is what can be used, and that's what the amazing part of what God has done is to allow us to have these simple remedies, that it's not just cayenne for one treatment or one therapy. Cayenne has a multiplicity. Each herb has a multiplicity of use. There's normally primaries, then there's secondaries as well. So this is internally, and now let's look at externally. It is used for like frostbite, painful joints, swellings, varicose veins. When added to herbal formulas, it stimulates the action of the other herbs. So it's like a catalyst. It's a booster to the other herbs. It stimulates the action of other herbs. It is a preventative for like heart attacks. So if you took the cayenne and threw it in your mouth, it actually, and you may have to do that a couple of times as you're trying to get your loved one, your friend to the doctor for or EMS or what have you, it actually stimulates the heart. It shocks it. It is a preventative for heart attacks, for flus, for colds, indigestion, and lack of vitality as well. So if you feel kind of like sluggish and all that, it is good for treating the spleen, pancreas, kidneys, and is effective as a fomentation for rheumatism, inflammation, pleurisy, sores, and wounds. And it can be rubbed on for toothaches and for different types of swellings that you may have. So that's why you can see for internally and externally what it can be used for. Cayenne interferes with what we call the pain perceptions. When placed on the extremities or drunk, it triggers the body to release endorphins, which reduce the pain as well. So this is a stimulant and all that, and this is why, again, this is a very important. Charcoal, now cayenne, is for you to have there in your home. Now, question has been asked in previous presentation, does cayenne pepper remove toxins from the body? Well, cayenne contains properties that help the body stimulate circulation and eliminate acidity. By opening the capillaries and regulating blood sugar, it also supports the digestive system in removing bacteria and toxins out of the body. So yes, it does help remove things out of your system. Now, the other question is, does cayenne pepper break down plaque in the arteries? Well, in fact, spicy peppers are frequently included in pain-relieving creams because ingesting them helps increase circulation, improves blood vessel strength, and reduces plaque buildup in your arteries. So yes, by increasing your blood circulation, therefore your blood is going to be able to clean the arteries from plaque buildup as well, because as the blood is moving like it should effectively and efficiently, then the blood is going to start breaking the plaque down as it moves through. Here are some other healing factors as well, and then we're spending some time because I believe strongly in the cayenne. Cayenne pepper also contains what we refer to as vitamin E, which is another super antioxidant that slows the aging process and keeps bodily organs healthy. Vitamin E plays a significant role in balancing your hormones as well, repairing damaged skin and maintaining healthy cholesterol levels as well. So this is why, again, a little cayenne a day actually does help keep the doctor away as well. So drinking a warm glass of fresh squeezed lemon juice with organic cayenne pepper water is a practice to do every morning to help stimulate the body's detoxification process. So that way, as your body's trying to heal itself on a daily basis, then you're assisting it with lemon. Lemon is an acid by pH definitions, but as the body is metabolizing it, it actually turns the body into an alkaline, and this is what we're wanting. This is the process. The goal is to be an alkalinarian. Cayenne pepper and honey, and now lemon combination. Honey and lemon juice are both great for digestion, destroying bacteria and cleansing the system, your body system. They support the liver and kidneys to get rid of toxins because the liver and the kidneys then are stimulated to actually start cleaning itself out more effectively. Cayenne pepper supports your metabolism and increases fat burning, aids digestion, and helps regulate your blood sugar as well. So if you're potentially, because in the United States, it is estimated that there's about 80 to 100 million pre-diabetics. And so this actually, by taking this, if you're potentially overweight, the waist girth, meaning if your stomach is larger than your waist, then you have potential to be a pre-diabetic, to being a diabetic. So this actually will help regulate your blood sugar in your body. It also, if you did cayenne and apple cider vinegar, it prevents heartburn. The thermogenics really help with burning fat by taking cayenne and apple cider vinegar. Now there's an argument about apple cider vinegar because it has the word vinegar in it. It is not vinegar as what most people would typically think of vinegar when you go to Walmart to buy vinegar. This is just called apple cider vinegar. Very, very helpful. Has a lot of health benefits. It also works as a good digestive aid. It helps with skin irritations. It seems to help their gut health as well. That said, some recommend it for arthritis pain and also weight loss. So if you're having problems and you're trying to lose some weight, cayenne and apple cider vinegar mixed together, either in a Vitamix and to a Champion juicer or whatever if you want, to juice fresh apples and all that, put some cayenne in it as well. Now, here's some natural remedies as we talked about for arthritis. We've already kind of go through this. The cayenne deep heat is very helpful for arthritis. So I just wanted to repeat this as the importance of cayenne for external, for skin, for joints, for stiffness, for also neuropathy. It actually helps reverse neuropathy by using this on a consistent daily basis. Let's look at number 3, garlic. Garlic over the years have been slowly increasing in price. Not sure what the factor is for that, other than either people are seeing that the demand is there and more people are using it in not only their cooking but also in their natural therapies as well. This is one of the most powerful antiseptic substance ever discovered. It's an antiseptic. In the 1950s, Soviet scientists found it to be equal to penicillin as well. So this garlic is a natural antibiotic by itself, and it can be used over many things, and I'll try to cover these. Yet without the harmful effects of the penicillin that the powerful drug can cause. Internally, it is used for osteosclerosis, for cancer, contagious diseases, for coughs, for cramps, diverticulitis, emphysema, for gas, heart problems, high blood pressure as well, and also low blood pressure, liver congestion, parasites, rheumatism, sinus congestions, and ulcer can be used. So internally, if you take it, you can help. You can actually use garlic with grapefruit to bring down blood sugar for diabetics. You can take it for high or low blood pressure, for also if you have high levels of fats and everything else. It actually reduces that as well for like cholesterol levels and all that. Externally, it is used for bowel problems, for parasites, for ringworms, skin parasites, tumors, warts, and yeast infections. Garlic is used for all lung and respiratory ailments and can be used as a tea or added to syrups for coughs, colds, tuberculosis, fevers, and blood diseases as well. Use it as a tea in an enema for worms and bowel infections. Use the fresh extract oil or eat the raw cloves as well. The raw cloves, when you use it, it can be used to help you. For instance, if women have vaginal yeast infection, they have cervical cancer, fallopian cancers and all that, what you do is you take one piece of fresh, good-sized piece of garlic, you take all the skin off of it with some olive oil and then insert it for in the evenings for 24 hours, and then the next morning you douche it out with warm lemon water. The second night you take another piece of garlic, then what you do is you bruise it with your hand, you squeeze it. By doing so, you're releasing then, and you're causing a chemical reaction called allicin. The allicin then is released from the garlic. You insert it again at night till the next morning, and then douche it out. The third night to the sixth night, you take another piece of garlic, good-sized garlic, make slices in it. That also creates a chemical reaction, the allicin, and then the juice of that is released, and you insert it. What that does, again, will clean out for any type of yeast infections, and then depending on the severity of the cervical or fallopian cancers or problems as to how often. So you do it for 6 nights straight. Now, for men that have prostate problems, the same process is need to be done. Take one piece of garlic, and take some olive oil, and then obviously for women and for men, you want to wear some gloves, insert it as far as you can vaginally or rectally. And normally the length of a man's finger is where the prostate is. And there's a thin skin between where the bowels are and where the prostate is, and by putting the garlic in there, then what you're doing is you're creating a fever treatment, especially when you start bruising it and you start slicing it. Therefore, your blood system, the white blood cell, as it's seen, detecting that there's heat there, it will go to that area, bringing the white blood cells, the red blood cells, and your T cells to that area just to fight the infection, the disease more effectively as well. This is one of the most powerful antiseptic substances ever discovered, is the garlic. And so let me give you a garlic poultice. Spread over a square of cotton cloth determined by the size of the area to be treated. Crush cloves of raw garlic. Cover with another square of cotton cloth. Place poultice on infected area. Cover with a piece of plastic that extends over all edges. Cover with another square of cotton cloth or gauze to catch leaks that may develop from this. Use a binder or ace bandage to hold in place. Don't do it too tight on there, because you don't want to. You're not trying to make a tourniquet or what have you. Then you pinning securely. Keep warm. Leave it on for about 4 to 5 hours, or if you're doing it at night, you can leave it on all night. It is not recommended to use the poultice more than once. Remember, in the charcoal poultice, I mentioned you use it once, then you discard it. Next application, use a new poultice as well. So when you're looking at garlic, it dissolves and removes tumors. Good for both high and low blood pressure, indigestion, infections, stomach problems, and nervous headaches as well. Dissolves, reduces your cholesterol in the bloodstream. If your bloodstream is, your cholesterol levels are high, it actually helps remove it to help balance it naturally, effectively, and efficiently. Kills Candida yeast infection. It's a tonic for endurance in extreme temperatures. Stimulates the lymphatic system. Increases the quality, longevity, and killing power of natural killer cells tenfold. So again, your natural body, the garlic actually helps boost that immunity ability. This is also a preventative herb. Remember that prevention is 9/10 of the cure. So you want to work on preventing, then reacting to different health problems and all that. Let's look at golden seal. Golden seal again is another beautiful herb that is is a powerful, not as maybe as strong as garlic, meaning it doesn't have its quick effect, but in long term it is very powerful, as well as a natural antibiotic. This is another powerful antiseptic, and in a sense it is the first true herb on this list that we've already covered. We've covered 3, but this is the actual first true herb. The first 3 can be purchased in the grocery store as well, and you can as well as golden seal, but most grocery stores don't have golden seal per se unless you go to a health food store. Internally, golden seal is good for alcoholism. So if somebody's trying to stop alcohol and they're having trouble, golden seal, if they take it on a daily basis, this will actually start eliminating the taste, the urgency, or what have you for garlic. Also is great for allergies, asthma, for bad breath, bladder diseases, bronchitis, canker sores, chicken pox, colds, diabetes, eczema, bleeding gums or gum infections, hay fever, heart weakness, hemorrhoids, herpes, indigestion, infections, inflammations, leukorrhea, liver problems, lymph congestion, measles, mammary and ovarian tumors, morning sickness, sore mouth, pyorrhea, tonsillitis, and ulcers. You see why we're suggesting these as the 12 most important herbs, because of look what golden seal can do. The plethora of things that God created this for the healing of the nations. He has created these herbs, and they're so beautiful and all that. And many people are misunderstanding. Many people don't even want to take them and all that. Externally, golden seal is used for burns, for canker sores, for eye inflammations, for bleeding gums, for gum infections, herpes sores, leukorrhea, mouth sores, ringworms, skin inflammation, tonsillitis, and also for different types of wounds that people may have. And so golden seal can be used on open sores for inflammation, and you can actually put it right on there for eczema, for ringworms, for erysipelas, or itchy skin conditions. It is specific for all kinds of mucous membrane problems. Snuffed up the nose, it is good for nasal catarrh. So if you actually take it and then sniff it up the nose, it actually opens up the nasal passages, and so the nasal passages will actually will start actually draining and all that. So you just want to let it drain. It sounds kind of eerie, yucky, maybe discomforting, but what happens over a period of time, not sure how many, you may have to do a couple of therapies, but then also you start finding that your sinuses are opening up, especially during the spring season where a lot of people have allergies from pollen and all that. Well, part of it is their diet that needs to be changed, but also some people have some problems as well just naturally with their sinuses, and actually the mucous membrane starts draining. Small doses will relieve nausea during pregnancy. It is a douche for vaginal infections, for eye wash, and an antiseptic mouthwash for pyorrhea. Used with Cascara Sagrada, it is a bowel tonic. As a retention anemia, it will reduce swollen hemorrhoids as well. So if somebody is suffering from hemorrhoids, this is a good way of being able to work it, treat it naturally, but you have to be consistent with if you happen to have hemorrhoids. So here's number 5. We'll finish with this one for today. Is peppermint. Peppermint, again, you can see it. There's different types of peppermints out there, but this is an old household remedy and is useful for a variety of conditions. Internally, peppermint is good for insomnia, measles, menstrual cramps, migraines, for morning sickness, for muscle spasms, for nauseousness, for nervous disorders, for chills, for colic, for fevers, for dizziness, gas, for vomiting, diarrhea, dysentery, and hysteria as well. So this is very beautiful. And I would, again, this is another herb that I would encourage you to invest in as you're able to have it. Even if you have it as an herb and dried, when you put it in a liquid or what have you, or if you take it and you grind it up and put it into a capsule and you take it internally, when it hits your digestive system, the liquid, it actually reignites it. It comes back alive for it to do what it needs to do, whatever cramps to migraines or insomnia, whatever you may be having. Externally, peppermint is used for skin itch. So if you have problems with your skin itching because you've been exposed to different chemicals, fiberglass, what have you, it's good for toothaches. Local anesthetic for local pains. It's good, for instance, if you have cuts. Peppermint, if you squeeze it and get the juice out of a fresh plant, you can put it over there. Or if you get peppermint, and if it's a powder form, put some water on it, reactivates it, put it straight on the skin. For example, to open up the sinuses, put 5 to 10 drops into 2 quarts of hot water and breathe it in through the mouth and nostrils. Cover the head with a cloth as you do this. So this also helps open up the air passageways. It reduces fevers, increases circulation in your body. It is a sedative for the stomach. So if you have stomach problems, your stomach is upset, then a peppermint is a good sedative. Aids in your digestion and relieves indigestion. So if you're having a problem when you're eating or you ate the wrong things, peppermint is good to help kind of settle things down if you don't have charcoal. Cleanses and strengthens your entire body. Peppermint contains an antioxidants that help fight cancer and heart disease as well. It also strengthens heart muscles and calms the nerves. The oil in the peppermint brings the oxygen to the bloodstream. So the herbs that are in the peppermint helps. If you're dealing with an infection, it actually brings the bloodstream, the white blood cells and all that to the area of infection, and really should be in every garden that we have. Even if you only have a little flower bed, I would encourage you to grow peppermint. Here's a couple of different pictures of different types of peppermints that are available out there, what kind they look like. And really, other than the stem, I would use all the leaves. The flowers in the peppermint are also those you can put them in a tea. You can dry them as well for further use as well. Well, thank you for your time. May God bless you as you keep studying, as you keep implementing these things, and as the Lord allows you to be able to invest in these, to have them start building your little herb storage, and that way you may be able to not only help yourself and your family, but that your neighbors start sharing with them, and that you may be able to minister to them and also to witness to them. Shall we close as we conclude our presentation today? Shall we pray? Father in heaven, we thank Thee again for this time that we've had. We just ask, Lord, that You would help us to learn these first 5 that I've shared, what the benefit and the blessing that they can be. And I pray for those that are going to be watching, that You would lead them into these presentations, help them that they may be able to have the funds to invest in these, learn how to use them, and that they may be able to be a witness to those that they come in contact. Guide us and direct us and keep us in perfect peace. In Jesus' name, amen.